You guys, let's rip the band-aid off the wound and let's talk about it. Being a believer. Now, being a believer is not by means for the weak, okay? Walking in the ways of Jesus Christ, you literally have to be built different. I'm talking big body built different, especially in this day and age and especially in these times, because it is a everyday kill your flesh and reside in the spirit. Remember the words of our heavenly brother, Jesus Christ, and submit ourselves to our Father in heaven. Most days it's challenging, but there are some days that isn't as challenging. But in this video, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the pros and the cons. Well, I'm not going to say cons because there's never a negative, thing for being a believer. But I'm going to say the positivity side and the negativity that comes with being this positive shed of light on the earth. Now, on the positive side, when you start your relationship with the Lord and you become an active believer, and as you're in your transitioning stage of being a disciple of Jesus Christ, you're essentially stepping away from the world, and now you're going and you're residing mostly in the spirit. Now, in order to do this involves the killing the flesh. Now, when I say killing the flesh, that means all of the thoughts, the desires, all of the things you used to do, the things you used to say when you were in the world no longer exist when you're out or you come out of the world. So how you would handle things when you were in the world isn't how you can handle things now when you're out of the world. When you become an active believer, God, you're expected to present yourself in the way that Jesus would present himself, because essentially you're a follower of Christ. And with that being said, you have to be very mindful of what you say and what you do around people, period. Now, God expresses his love. He expresses that we should love our neighbor as ourselves. So this means that even though we stepped out of the world, we still have to show that same love and compassion to worldly people. And just like how we love ourselves, we love fellow brothers and sisters in Christ, we have to love everyone. God doesn't want us, essentially looking down or treating sinners or people who are of the world in a negative manner, because that's what they're choosing to do with their lives. But God teaches us to love, and to love our neighbor as ourselves is one of the greatest commandments of all time. So another positive aspect is just being able to love on people, to not, have this animosity, or just being able to say hi and see how someone's day is going, or go about your day feeling great, feeling positive, feeling close to the Lord. And with all of that comes peace of mind. When you become close to the Lord, it gives you this sense of peace that you have never experienced in your life. I don't care how, what you may have practiced in when you were in the world, Hinduism, meditation, and that aspect. Anything you could possibly think of will never bring you peace like the peace that you receive through God, because that is the only peace that you can ever experience that is true and genuine peace. It's peace that never goes away. It's a peace that's with you for the rest of your life. Well, until, as long as you're doing right by him and you have that relationship and you're continuing and you're furthering that relationship and you're maintaining it, I would say that peace sticks with you. And even living in the midst of chaos, we need that peace. We rely on it because it's literally what helps us step away from the chaos and step away from all the malice that's around us and essentially in our environments. And just further into, just having a new perspective and outlook on the things around you, just the appreciation that you feel. Like, I don't know if you ever just being able to walk outside and admire all of God's creation, admire nature. Just the other day, as I was driving down the street, I was thinking about trees, and I'm like, I just love God so much that I love his creation. Like, everything that he touched with his hand and made is beautiful. It's perfect in its own way. That everything has life. Even the things that people don't think has life have life. Even the things that don't have a physical heartbeat has lives. Just like he talks about faith as a mustard seed. Like, you can plant seeds everywhere, but it's up to that person on whether they will want it to grow or not. So it's just like with the trees. I'm thinking, like, the tree started off as a little seed that somebody placed in the ground and covered with the ground, with the soil. And as the it rained and it got a chance to grow and blossom into something beautiful. So even though we start one way, we always have an opportunity to be able to grow and blossom. We don't have to just start one way and just stay that way for the rest of our life. You should want to grow. You should want to blossom into something more beautiful, spiritually. And just, I'm like looking at these trees, like, these trees are so beautiful. And the fact that, I don't know if you guys know that the trees, if you ever just look at a tree and you see how high up the tree grows to, and when you look at certain trees, you can see their history. You can see how their foundation, just looking at the roots, you can see how long that tree may have been there, essentially. And it makes your mind start to wonder. Like, it just amazes me how we see trees every single day and we just pass them by. We don't take notice to them because they're kind of just there. Like, trees has this representation of being one of the plants that grows so high up and it's just kind of there for like decoration or whatever. But on the other side, it's trees provide leaves. They provide oxygen. Is what helps keep the air clean. It's like, also, if you notice, the leaves change during the seasons. So the tree doesn't just grow to its expected length and it just stops and it just stays that way forever. Throughout the seasons, the leaves change. They change colors. They change, period. And I was just so fathomed by that. I'm like, that's something I never really realized when I was in the world, or I never paid attention to until the closer I got with God. And I'm just starting to take note and appreciate all these little things that never really mattered to me anymore. And it's just like that positive aspect, my desire to want to love on people more. Like, I've always been the type of person that was like, want to do good to people. I've never wanted ill intention. I never wanted to hurt people. I don't like seeing people hurt each other. But I was already sensitive then. But now I'm a crybaby. Like, everything makes me cry. And I think it's because your heart is becoming softer and softer and softer. And it just reminds me of, like, I can't imagine what God's original design for humanity was. Like, it crosses my mind from time to time, like, what we could have been, the potential, like what this world could have been if, sin hadn't entered it. So with those positive aspects, also comes negative ones. And negativity not towards being a follower, but negativity towards what you experience once you become a follower of Jesus Christ. Now, people in the world will often judge you, and that's for sure, for certain. You're closely monitored, like, heavily. So because you present yourself as a follower of Christ, people are constantly looking at you, waiting for you to slip up, waiting for you to make a mistake, waiting for you to do something so they can call you out on it. You're supposed to be a Christian, or you're supposed to be a follower, but you do this or you do that. Not remembering that we are all imperfect people But because we were created in his image, we strive to be better and do better. Just because you stepped out from the world and now you're a follower of Christ does not mean that all of your old habits, all of the things that you've grown up doing just goes away completely overnight now that you're a believer. No, that means you have to work 20 times harder to fight those desires, to fight the things that you would have done when you was in the world now that you're a believer in Christ. So these people in the world has this just stereotype, or they have their I don't know how to call it, but they're constantly watching. And they're waiting for you to slip up and make a mistake so that they can bash God and use it as a way to be like, see, this is why you don't need to follow God, because if you follow God, then you wouldn't be doing this and you wouldn't be doing that. It's just like something you just gotta just put it to the back. Don't even think about it, because it's just them not knowing. And of course you're going to be judged. Everybody's always going to judge you. And that's okay. Let them judge you. You still love them. But love them from a distance if it becomes where it's okay, it's getting a little. But yeah, a couple of other negative things is people may approach you and already have their mind set up of who you are and who you're supposed to be now that you're a believer in Christ. Oh, you're supposed to be nice and you're not very nice. Who said I had to be nice? Just because I'm a believer, that don't mean I gotta be nice. But you're supposed to be a follower of Jesus, right? You're supposed to be nice. Where did it say that Jesus was nice? Because it pointed out to me. I've never read that Jesus was nice, but I did read that he was firm in his faith. He was firm for fighting for the church. He was firm for fulfilling his purpose put into the world. He was around a bunch of ridicule, and he essentially got killed by the same people, the same kinds of people that he was fighting for. So nowhere did it say that we have to be nice. People in the world often forget that we all have our own personalities. Even when we come out of the world, we still have our personality. Nobody's just they just have this misconception of thinking we're all, yeah. No, when you become a follower of Christ, you do become softer, you do change in a way. But that's solely dependent on you as an individual. And then nowhere does it say we have to be super duper nice all the time. God just tells us, make sure that you love your neighbor, and then following God and following Jesus, you don't want to do anything to hurt somebody, to cause distress on somebody, to cause someone else to stumble. You don't want to do those things. So we naturally try not to do those things. But it's just this misconception in the world with people thinking that you just got to be super duper nice all the time. No, Jesus, he loved everyone. He even loved the people that was beating him to death, loved the people that hung him. That's why he said, Father, please forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. He loves us, but that don't mean that he was just going around just letting everybody 9 times out of 10, he already knew what they were thinking, what their hidden motives was, but he still loved them. If we think about Judas Iscariot, Jesus knew that Judas was going to betray him, but he still loved him. He still showed him love. That's literally what it means to love your enemies as yourself. So that's a misconception that people in the world will pass judgment on you for. And a lot of it, another negative thing is people think you sweet. So when you're a believer, you present yourself, whether you're a woman or a man, whether you're a teenager, people literally think you sweet. So they will try you. And you just bruh, this what you want to do now? But you just got to remember, let me stay true to God. And you got to kill that flesh, kill that desire to feed into it. So that's just one of the hardest things. It's just you know what? I'm going to walk away. I'm not going. And in some moments, you got to be knowing to be quiet. Like, you gotta be quiet, because people, they will see you and they'll see you, you know, just not paying them no mind and ignoring it. And they'll antagonize you and they'll keep picking and picking just to get you to snap. That's when it really comes in, that work, that faith. You gotta like die to your old ways, die to yourself, and just remove yourself from those types of environments and situations. So all in all, I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of other, you know, negative things that you'll experience that I didn't cover in this video. And there's probably a lot more positive things that you'll cover in this video. But with that being said, I love you guys, and I will see you in another one. Bye.
Hi guys, if you like this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe.